want that Eiffel Tower bullshit to come out. Welcome back to another week of Cowboys Cast HQ, Week 6 against the Philadelphia Eagles, and
hit the peak. Now we're on downfall. Let's recap. We didn't do 2 weeks before. Let's recap quick, and then we'll jump into Week 6. Week 4 was it? We went against the Commanders. We all know that's a really bad team. We won 24-10, I believe. Next week we did the Rams. We beat them, Super Bowl defending champs. That was a big surprise, but this week we ran into a wall, and not necessarily a wall, let's just say, but we did really, really bad mistakes that cost us the game. But as we always say, every season we bring the hype up, but then we get knocked down way low.
I think this was just a reality check, a reality check. Like you said, we were riding a high of highs with Cooper Crush, whatever we want to call him. He was doing good. Was not turning the ball over at all this game. He had 3 turnovers, I believe. It was just, back to reality. And the cold reality is that we're third in our division. The Giants are 5-1. Eagles are 6-0. With this loss, we're in third place now. Not looking good. We need Dak back, guys. What do you think? I think we need Dak back. I think if Dak Prescott was in the game, he makes certain throws, can make certain runs. It's a different game.
It is a different game, but I don't want to knock down Cooper Rush that many levels down. I'm not saying he's the answer. I was saying it a couple weeks back, but you got to think about it this way. The Philadelphia Eagles defense was really, really good prior to us, and he was going to have a downfall game. But second half, he was on a tear. He was coming back. He was going to bring us back, but then just too many mistakes. The line wasn't defending him. It was just too hard to overcome a 17-point deficit. So you can't knock all Cooper's Rush's tries today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little too little too late is kind of what the game summed up to, man. That second quarter is where the Eagles really kind of do some separation, and we didn't really kind of keep up. We did our best, like you said, in the second half, but at the end of the day, it was too little too late. Too little too late. But one good thing that I do want to talk about is how the Cowboys started using Zeke. I think we looked really good. I know I know Zeke and Tony and Pollard were doing good, but our running game was doing well. We were really getting after. I like Steele had some good movement with him. Zach Martin. Zach Thomas, linebacker. Dolphins back in the day, just so you know. Anyways, our offensive line was getting good pushing. Like we look like we're doing some good things, which begs the question. All right, next up, Zeke. Next week,
Lions.
All right. See how Zeke and Tony Pollard do against that. The Lions should be pretty good, but this was a game that we fared off really good. And for a little bit, I thought we really had a chance to do some damage, get some wins. But it's not too bad. Reality check, like you said, it's a reality check game. And if the reality was, we told you Dak was out for 5 weeks. What is it? 6 5? He was out for 5 weeks, and we had a 4-3 record.
4-2.
4-2 record. You'd say that's pretty good.
That's
really
so
overall, we're still in good shape. It's still not crying anything. We did beat in our division. We're doing all right. We did drop one to the Eagles, so we're gonna have to play them. But we play them in Dallas, which is always all right.
Christmas Eve, I believe.
Christmas Eve. There you go. So Christmas Eve, we play those guys again. We can get them again. We're already one up with the Giants. I don't see us losing that because we play them in Dallas as well, and we go to the Commanders, I believe, in November. So, in the division, we're still alive. It's looking all right, man. I think our defense, our bright spot, obviously, number 11, Micah Parsons was killing it. Those boys were doing good. Dan Quinn has those guys humming. But the whole game, what did we keep on saying? How good are we, but how better could we be if we had
Von Miller?
That's
what I was thinking the whole game. I was like, we're doing really, really good. Micah's doing everything he can, and he's a dominant player. He does everything that they ask of him. Sometimes when you don't even think he's on the play, he is running after Jalen Hurts, or he's running after the running back, or whatever it is, A.J. Brown. But imagine if we had Von Miller, if we weren't so cheap and we gave him his money.
It takes it over the edge. If we have Von Miller, it's a completely different defense. But then also, too, we get Von Miller. We
were talking about earlier.
Robert Wagner.
Miller, Bobby Wagner.
Stephon Gilmore.
I
mean, how many?
D-Law,
Jadeveon Clowney. Anthony Barr. I mean, like, we could have added to that defense. You know what I mean? Like, I was talking about the players. Yeah.
Didn't go anywhere.
I don't like talking about the money because the money's always there. If it wants, como like we always said, man, el que quiere, el que pierde, el que quiere puede. If you want to, it can get done, man. You know what I mean? So if we really wanted to, we could get it. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. We're not really trying to cry about things that didn't happen, but it's just frustrating, man, because we knew the challenges we were going to face this year. The challenges that we're still facing in week 6 are challenges that we could have kind of addressed in the offseason, and we didn't. You know what I mean? Just kind of kicking down the road.
And in week 1, we were already saying, let's go to next season. You know what I mean? Let's like try to go for the next season and see what we're going to do next year. But the defense has been keeping us really, really well. But I did say earlier today while watching the game, looking at Mike McCarthy's dumb face, we need to lose in order to get rid of him and get Sean Payton. But the defense is doing really good. So it's really hard to like find that middle ground of like, we want to go obviously to the Super Bowl, but can we beat the elite teams? We were close to beating the undefeated team, but can we beat the Chiefs against Mahomes? Can we beat the Bills against Josh Allen? That's the real question.
Yeah. And like we said, we're going to have a good, next couple of weeks. We're going to really find a lot about this team because I believe we do a little tour for the NFC North. We get the Lions and then the Packers.
And then we get a bye week after the Lions, I believe. So should we play Dak next week or just keep Cooper Rush against an easy Lions game? The defense is going to dominate.
Get him out. I say get him out. Get him the hell out of there. Oh, yeah, man. I think enough's enough. You know,
it's just one bad game, man. One bad game.
I mean,
he was 5-0.
I mean, he's
just saying 5-0, one bad game could have happened.
Today, you really saw.
I did really saw. I'm not saying
the difference.
Yeah,
today, you saw that he was a backup.
Yeah.
Today, you saw that he was a backup. We need a starter.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
We need somebody who was once elite who could still get us going back there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dak may not be what he once was, but he is better than Cooper Kupp ever was.
Rush.
You understand me? Cooper Rush. And another thing, too, that kind of brings to this offense that maybe would have been able to get us is the threat of the run. They pull it. You know what I mean? That little hesitation could take a little bit of pressure off of Tony Pollard and off of Zeke that will, in turn, get us to do better. Our offensive line was struggling, man. Jason Peters, that experiment for guard, I was really high on it in the beginning. Today, it looked ugly. There's a couple of times where he pulled in there early in the beginning where he pulled and he overshot this man. Kind of got blown up the backfield before it even started. So our offensive line is a work in progress, but those boys are doing just as good. I think, they're going to do just fine. We're going to protect them, bring in the tight end, bring in Zeke. He's a great pass blocker. Get Dak in, man. Yeah, dude, we don't have enough time for no bull crap. You know what I mean? We got no time for no horse monkey, dude. We got to time is now. It's week 6. It's week 7. We got to win. We got to start going.
But then
if we want to make a run, we got to do it.
Yeah, but there's no rush, right? Cooper Rush, that is. There's no rush to I say there's no rush to bring Dak back. Give him one more week against a crappy team like the Lions. Cooper Rush doesn't really do.
Dan Campbell's got those boys 9 kneecaps.
Nah, they got shut down today.
Not your little kneecaps, bro. You're standing like this. You'll be standing like that after freaking Dan Campbell comes after you.
But buddy. I'm just saying, give him one more week. If the game goes bad, then put him in. But I say give him one more week. We get a bye, so he gets 2 extra weeks of rehabbing the thumb, come back strong against the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, Cowboys killer. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm saying right now. Just keep Cooper Rush one more week. He did really bad today, but it wasn't all on him. The O-line, like how you said it, was not protecting him as well. The Eagles got a lot of easy.
Fletcher Cox, man. Let's just talk about Fletcher Cox and the 2 guys who've been doing it for us since my whole life. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham have just been killing us, man. Those dudes, shout out to them. They've been doing it for a long time.
But let's just say that what if we put Dak in and then he could have get hurt for just trying to force it against a crappy team like the Lions?
Well, then we'll know. Get him out of there. Then he's done.
And then talking about dream scenarios, not dream scenarios, but we were talking back and forth while watching the game. What could we have done different that doesn't – it's not dream world, but what do you think we could have done that could be possible? What are your thoughts?
At this point, are you talking about going forward? What's the best case scenario? How can we salvage this? What's the dream scenario? What are you asking here?
Yeah, I'm asking what would you do next from here on out? Who plays what
either way.
All
right. So I'm sorry. It took me a while to understand what you're saying. But so what I would do, number one, Mike McCarthy's gone no matter what. He can win the Super Bowl. He's gone. We need to get Sean Payton. Number 2, we got to load up, or we got to honestly we keep the 1-2 punch, keep Tony, keep Zeke, move on, and we just add to the defense. I know it's kind of
That'd be really
proactive.
good.
Yeah, it's kind of a safe thing. Not really going to say, but like you brought an interesting point up earlier too this week, because like what do we want as a fan base? Do we want the Cowboys to get embarrassed from here on out, so it's clear? You know what I mean? That we
Yeah.
need to move on, or do we want to still kind of struggle, still kind of linger around, so they keep Mike McCarthy, they keep Dak, we keep those boys alive, and we just have a couple more years of the Jason Garrett.
Clapping era.
Just like the
No,
next 8 and 8,
I think
7 and 7.
I think what McCarthy thing is like he has this thing, covering his fat face. That's all he
Yeah.
does. Like Jason was the clapper. This guy's the face thing. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
We need Sean Payton, his go-to attitude, just like Dan Campbell, but way better coaching experience. And he was with the Cowboys, so let's just bring him back home, settle this debate, and we could see how that experience is going to go.
Well, that's that.
Next week, Lions, we're going to feast, then a bye week.
Catch us next week, boys.
We're good.